Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and do you like a mystery? Check this one out. Alright, so have you ever seen the Sabu disc? Now, at first glance, you'd be like, yeah, but I mean, what's so special about this? What is it, like a part of some kind of machinery, car? See, problem is, that's what it looks like, but it's 5,000 years old. X-Files music, please. Alright, how about we start at the very beginning of this story? Meaning, ancient Egypt. Because of course, it's gonna be ancient Egypt. From Egypt Museum we read, discovered in 1936 by British archaeologist Walter Bryan Emery within the tomb of Prince Sabu of the Saqqara necropolis, the so-called Sabu disc is a unique object which stands as a testament to the advanced craftsmanship of the early Egyptian artisans. Already just for geographic help here are some images of the Saqqara necropolis which would be found south of Cairo. And we're not talking about just a single tomb, but a vast ancient burial ground, which served as the necropolis of the ancient capital, Memphis. Believed to date from the First Dynasty, 3000 to 2800 BC, the disc measures approximately 61 centimeters in diameter and 10.6 centimeters in height, crafted from a schist, a brittle and fragile stone. So I know it looks like it's some kind of freaking pig iron or mild steel, but no, it's stone. Do with that what you will. The artifact features a central hole about 8 centimeters wide, so this one here, surrounded by 3 elegantly curved lobes extending from its slightly raised rim, which will be 1, 2, and 3. Now, I know that if we go into the picture, people have said this, and you zoom in, you'll see there is like a serial number right there. And people are like, what? It's added later. This is okay. Don't worry about it. This intricate design, reminiscent of a modern steering wheel with 3 broad spokes. Personally, I wouldn't really say modern steering wheel, looks more like a mechanical component, but that's just me. Underscores the remarkable skill of ancient Egyptian craftsmen, especially considering the challenging nature of the material. Absolutely. The function of the Sabu disc remains a subject of debate among Egyptologists and now among noble ones, because I'm gonna read the comments today. You let me know what you think this was all about in the comments. Counting on you. I'm gonna put on Vegas mask. Careful. You know, I just want to point out one thing. The fact that whoever wrote this thinks that this looks like a steering wheel, while I think that this looks more like a mechanical component, like a gear, and maybe you think it looks like a flying saucer or like it, I don't know. It already underscores a problem here. The fact that we are all projecting our current understanding of our time onto an ancient object. Now, we have discussed similar situations when it comes to the way our brains oftentimes project images and meaning onto objects that are modern and anachronistically, in fact, and we do that naturally. We all do this, and we've talked about it when it comes to hieroglyphs on certain cartouche that looked like modern vehicles. We've already discussed that. But what about this though? Like, what would it be then? Well, as you say, no one knows the function. Now, Emery initially speculated that it might have served as a ceremonial, you motherfucker. Yes? Red alert.
Absolutely. The word ceremonial has been used. Again.
I swear, I don't know what it is with archaeologists. Guys, I love you, okay? I love you guys. But you gotta stop with this freaking ceremonial. Ceremonial is archaeologist speech for, I don't know what it is. Why are they making it? Why did they use... Is this ceremonial to you? Huh? Ceremonial vessel. Or a stand-mounted container. Now, this does not look like a container to me, sorry. It's too many holes for a container. I mean, I guess you could put a lid here, but good luck with these. Though no supporting evidence was found within the tomb, some scholars suggest it could have been a decorative piece, given its delicate construction. Okay, so the decorative aspect of it, I can see it a little bit, like it's better than a container to be, I'll be square, I'll be telling you the truth here. Still, for it to actually work as a decorative object that would make any sense, even from the perspective of the ancients, this needs to be inlaid with stuff. Because if it's just a piece of stone like this, even if it was like nicely polished in period, you would still have to have something like maybe some inlaid precious stones, materials or something, because otherwise it looks... No, to me, the way it's designed gives me an idea of a practical function. Now, what that function is, but that's what I'm thinking. It looks like shape and function, not decoration, at least to me. Many theories have inspired imagination. Oh yeah, I can imagine a few. Yes? Uh-huh. Absolutely, Your Majesty. Yeah, they're watching now. I'll let them know. Thank you, Your Highness. Talov. What? Oh, it was Queen Victoria. She asked me to tell you, open quotes, subscribe. Beyond academic discourse, the Sabu disc has sparked various unconventional theories. Some propose that it represents an ancient Egyptian attempt to replicate metal objects, possibly indicating knowledge of advanced technologies. Yeah, I heard this one. So of course some people think it's a technological piece, but the problem is that the way I understand it is quite brittle. And by the way, going back to the decoration part, I wonder if there is, if there is no pigment in any way, shape or form, even at a molecular level, I would ditch that one, to be honest. But the idea of it being a functional piece of some kind of technology, of course they had technology, it's just that it would, First Dynasty, we are talking very early technology, like Stone Age, movement from Stone Age to the Copper Age. It can be different in places, but still, stone being used as a medium, what is the purpose of this technology? And mind you, if this is tech, then the problem, if it is modern tech, of course, then we're going to go into a whole range of speculative, fascinating, but kind of unlikely discussion on a modern idea like a machine. I know it looks like it, but that should be our last. Like, we need to apply Occam razor. Put it like, I will always leave a little window of possibility, but as I always say, that window of possibility within the rest of the skepticism that I'm going to propose when it comes to the idea of actual modern machinery is proportional to the evidence that I'm given. And at the moment, yeah, we need something else. We need something else to understand. We need, like, if they uncover a depiction, a pictorial image, and this shows these things being used all next to like some kind of giant robots, then we're talking. But it could still be some kind of machine in the ancient sense. The Romans produced machines with wood and bronze, and of course this is before that. This is ancient, even from the perspective of the ancient Romans, I'd like to underline. But still, maybe some kind of stone and wood device that was, I don't know if I should use that word, but please don't misunderstand it, that had some kind of purpose, maybe part of a mechanism that we're trying to build. I would be more open to that possibility. Others delving into the realm of speculation suggest it could be a model of a flywheel or even an out-of-place artifact linked to extraterrestrial influences. Right.
Reptilian.
Actually, by the looks of it, I'm gonna say grey. However, these claims lack substantial evidence, yes, and are not supported by mainstream Egyptology. The real question here, though, is it in his book? Mr. Hawass? Come on. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much. The Sabu disc remains an intriguing puzzle from ancient Egypt that, 100%, symbolizing the sophistication and mystery of early Egyptian civilization. While its exact purpose continues to elude definitive explanation, the artifact offers invaluable insight into the artistic and cultural practices of the era. As research progresses, it is hoped that the further study will shed light on this captivating piece of history, and this was the article from Egypt Museum. We've got more. Let's see what Wikipedia says about this. Let's see if they... The Sabu disc is an ancient Egyptian artifact, First Dynasty. Okay, we know that. Sabu is the name, yes, of a high-ranking Egyptian official, after whom this was named, because I think it was found in his tomb, right? So it's part of his funerary kit. Correct me if I'm wrong. The artifact is made of schist, a term previously used in Egyptology for weakly metaphoric siltstone. Image representation. Siltstone, also known as aleorolite. Goodness gracious, like, no, 1 out of 3 I was hoping would be easy to pronounce. Well, I guess siltstone maybe, is a classic sedimentary rock that is composed mostly of silt. It is a form of mud rock with a low clay mineral content, which can be distinguished from shale by its lack of fissibility. And before I forget, on the idea that this could be machinery, do remember that this is imperfect. I know it doesn't look like it, but if you look at it from the side, it's not perfectly symmetrical. So if this was machinery in the modern sense, it wouldn't really work well. Its central hole has a diameter of about 8 centimeters, 3.1 inches, which is fitted with a socket whose height corresponds approximately to the depth of the bowl. Yeah, I do believe that something would be inserted here, to be honest with you. I can see that. Again, I'm gonna think something wooden. Yeah, I can see this. This does appear like something that you would want to rotate. Who knows? Maybe it has to do with production of grain. Maybe that could be an idea. From the slightly raised outer edge, 3 wings of lobes are folded inwards towards the central hole, with the outer edge remaining in the form of narrow. Okay, I don't want to read Wikipedia at you. That was just to have an idea if they were saying something new. Oh yeah, there we go. At the Airbus Research Center, copies of the disk were made using a 3D printer. This is interesting, actually. And the physical properties of the disk were examined. The copies had aerodynamic properties and could serve as flying disks. However, due to, well, I'm going to say this could be used as flying disks. So simply because you can use it, it doesn't mean that that's what it was intended. Its intended original purpose. However, due to their rotational symmetry or non-chirality, use as a propeller or turbine is impossible. Yes, because some people did think maybe it is some kind of turbine, because of course, once again, from our perspective, this is what it makes us think. But I guess this is a good way to see like that, yeah, that would be impossible. It was also shown that it was possible to use the disc as an oil lamp. Not that I'm fixated with, but this can be used as an oil lamp too. I mean... Maybe. I mean, what do you guys think about the oil lamp idea? I will leave a link in the description now to this, which is a PDF available and from ResearchGate. And the title is The Sabu Disk, a multidisciplinary exploration of geometry, functionality, and speculative origin, where it's an interesting read to kind of dive a little deeper into all of these speculative possibilities. And let's read the abstract very quick so you have an idea. Also, I'm refusing, as always, to read BCE. It's BC forever and ever. In fact, today is the what? 2nd of July, 2025, Anno Domini Nostri Jesu Christi. The Sabu disk, an artifact unearthed in 1936 from the tomb of Prince Sabu at Saqqara, Egypt, has captivated researchers with its intricate design and enigmatic purpose. We know the dating, dated the First Dynasty around 3000 BC. You see, they underline that it's cut from a delicate stone. So the fact that it's delicate makes me think that this cannot be used to have, it could have been intended to have any form of friction. Because if the stone or the material is delicate, it's going to erode and crack. And by the way, I don't even see the signs of it being used. Now, given maybe it was produced and never used, that's always a possibility. But I personally don't think I can see it rotating, but the only friction that I could see would be here. So then why did they make these? Maybe so you could put your hands in here. Imagine it like one hand like this, the other hand like this, rotate, do it again, rotate, do it again. I mean, this is something I can see. So these parts don't have any friction. These are only touched by your hands. And the only part that is having friction is here when you have the socket where you put, I'm going to imagine, some kind of wooden pole. And what would be the purpose? Well, again, it could have a mechanical function. If it could have a mechanical purpose in the sense that you do this and then you're rotating more of these, kind of a bit like gears, right? One gear touching the other. And then eventually, as you rotate the pole, maybe the pole is moving something at the bottom that is doing something for you. And again, grain production would be my guess. But if it's not grain production, it could be something else. Definitely, though, I cannot imagine this being turned very fast. And once again, I can't imagine this surface to have to hit anything or have any form of friction, because this could be destroyed by it. And again, I don't believe that ritual item symbolizing cosmic or spiritual principles. Yeah, you can say that about anything. Here's me, okay? So this is an interesting read, but one thing I want to say about this, for the whole freaking ceremonial thing, okay? Particularly when ritual is better than ceremonial, I prefer it, but whatever. If you want to tell me that it represents as a symbolic of cosmic and spiritual principles, you have to back that up with some kind of text that tells me these are the spiritual principles we believe in. Better yet, here are objects, even if it's not this one, here are objects that we use to represent these, possibly made with a similar medium, even if it's stone in general, doesn't have to be the same. Then you can tell me maybe it's a representation of this, because otherwise you're just reading into it. You're reading too much into it. You're putting your own mind. It's like those situations that happened to... Similar situation actually happened much more recently with Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings. And then there's this interview that I've covered on my second channel, Metatron's Academy. Tolkien was actually annoyed at the fact that people were speculating already when he was still alive. Imagine after he's dead. Here is the interview, and I will put a link in the description below. He was annoyed by the fact that people were speculating, probably there is a symbolism between the One Ring and the nuclear bomb, the ones used during the Second World War, because the ring is this, is representation of fire, and fire is the nucleus that is destroyed and creates energy and the heat. And like they went into this whole speculation, and Tolkien is like, no, it's not it. Not a representation of the atom bomb. Never was, never will be. Great. Now, he's dead though, so I cannot even speculate. That's the problem, that a lot of these writers and poets of the past, Manzoni, right? Alessandro Manzoni, Dante Alighieri, sometimes in those lectures at university, I would hear professors speculating because here the drape represents this and the green color is a representation of the inner vivification of the soul as it springs, because it springs out like the seasons. And then maybe the author, if Dante Alighieri or Alessandro Manzoni or whoever, could wake up and be like, what are you on about? I like green. I like the freaking color green. It's my favorite color, mate. Even more so, in a situation like this, it's either you base it on something that we know, they told us about. It's something they do, I have a pattern, we can use pattern recognition, or just pack it in, please. Anyways, everything else is fine. I just wanted to point that one out. Also, here says, beyond its historical and material context, the Sabu disc invites multidisciplinary investigation, its complex geometry, rotational symmetry. Other than, again, when it comes to the rotational symmetry, do keep in mind that it's not perfectly symmetrical. Wanted to point out again, there is some imperfections in craftsmanship. Suggests potential interaction with forces such as fluid flow or rotational dynamics. Now, on the rotational dynamics, I agree. When it comes interaction with forces such as fluid flow, I've seen a little experiment where they recreated like a small version and they used it to put it inside a glass with water, turned it around, and it created a little whirlpool. That's great, but you don't need the little folds. Any disc would do that. So not very convincing when it comes to me. And also, just to add on the fact that I just said that it has imperfections, it also means that it was created with human hands, because I've seen people speculating, oh, this looks machine made. Then why would they use stone if they had access to those machines? At this point, this should be titanium. You know what I mean? If they really want to go that way, then use it, or some kind of polymer, I don't know. But no, it's not machine made. It's clearly not machine made. You just have to look at it, and it's not machine made. Impressive still, particularly for the period this was made. Not trying to deny that, but not machine-made. The disk's shape can be analyzed mathematically as a structure with potential functional or symbolic properties. Yeah, I think I lean on the functional. Its mechanical design hints at parallels with modern impellers or turbines, prompting inquiries into its practical use in systems involving fluid or air movement. And once again, this could be something that personally I think we are projecting at this point. If you see that. Furthermore, its aesthetic elegance aligns with principles of sacred geometry that could be pointing to a possible symbolic or ceremonial in ancient Egyptian culture. All right, in addition to grounded archaeological and scientific approaches, some theories have ventured into the realm of speculative extraterrestrial origins, and we have discussed that. Let's see how he mentions these. The suggestion that the disk might be the product of an advanced alien technology, perhaps left as a relic or tool, has emerged as a way to reconcile its apparently advanced design with historical context of early dynastic Egypt. Here's the thing. If this is product of advanced alien technology, why on earth are they using stone? It's an advanced alien technology. I'm not even steel, at least. In fact, I would be expecting some material that we don't even know exists, like something we need to add to the periodic table. That's what I would be expecting. Some alloy composition. They were like, ooh, how did they do that? Or at least steel. I mean, give me some steel with chromium, at least. Why are they using stone? What are these aliens that are capable of intergalactic travel come to this planet? They can't make steel. They know where the iron is. I'm sure they can melt it. So yeah, no. That's the thing, I'm just trying to apply reason and logic here. Anyways, I will leave a link if you want to study this. Just wanted to have a look very quickly. If you want to see what they present, it's very in-depth, and I thought it was interesting apart from like a couple of things that I disagreed with. I wanted to point out with you. This might be a modulator altering the frequency, amplitude, or coherence of an electromagnetic or particle beam. Yeah, no, that sounds like sci-fi to me, sorry. You're gonna need a lot more to convince me that that's the case. If you do bring in the evidence, though, then it's a different matter. I'm ready to rewrite the history if the evidence is there, always. Let me know what you think, Noble Ones. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.